Hey everyone, if you're a property owner and you're looking for a vacation rental management company, whether you're interviewing new ones or you're wondering if your current company is optimizing your property and doing what's best for you, I made this video for you. So my name is Stephen Kroback. I own a few of my own short-term rentals in the Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina areas, and I also have a small boutique property management company. We focus on higher end updated oceanfront listings in the areas that I mentioned. I've been talking with a lot of homeowners recently, and I've noticed that there's a lot of crazy things going on in the world of property management, especially in our area specifically. There's just so many different companies to choose from. Commissions are all over the place, and it's actually really difficult to narrow down your search based on what's right for you. So I made this video as a part one in a multiple part series of let's look at what the basics of what any company should be doing to really maximize your property, and then we can kind of go from there, making sure if a company's doing the basics right, then we can figure out other things to look at. And so when I say basics, this video is going to address an optimized listing on one of the online travel agencies. As you can see, we'll be doing Airbnb as the example. And I really am just going to walk you through one of my own properties, what you should be looking for from your management company for how it's set up and optimized. And when I say optimized, I mean what how they're marketing your property to be able to get the most amount of views, the most amount of guests, and the highest nightly rate for your property. So that being said, I'm just going to open up my current listing here. As I said, this is one that I've owned for a couple years now. I just kind of want to walk you through the logic of how it should be set up, and we'll start from the top bottom and go to the bottom there. So first things first, you want a really captivating title. I know I see a lot of units in our area specifically. It'll just leave the unit number as the title. What you're really looking to do is address some sort of buzzword, whether it be stunning, updated, new, ocean fronts, beautiful, things like that that are going to catch the guest's attention. I know with the update with Airbnb, it might not be as front and center as it used to be, but still important to have a quality title, whether it be Airbnb, VRBO, or a direct booking site. Us personally, we brand our listing. So this one's the Crow's Nest Condo. And then, those are kind of the main things to look at, some sort of captivating title to bring in the guest. Moving on to the pictures, these are arguably the most important. The first picture, as you can see here, is clearly professional photos, and I cannot emphasize that enough. Professional photos are a must, especially with the invention of Airbnb and VRBO. Anyone can list their property and self-manage anymore, and there's just so many listings that if you are not using a professional photographer, your listing is going to get left in the dust, and it's not going to be optimized. So you can see for us, for our what we call the hero image, it's that first image that has the oceanfront view. We'll actually rotate our images between the ocean fronts. You can see we've got the updated kitchen and the updated family room there. So we'll rotate those in and out and kind of get an idea of what the most likely image is to bring in the most views and the most bookings. So if the listing starts getting stale, we'll move those around. So if you're just seeing the same image and your company hasn't updated the profile for your Airbnb or VRBO listing in 6 months to a year, then it might be time to address that with them. So going through the pictures real quick, as I said, I can't emphasize enough how important the pictures are. And then speaking of pictures, for Airbnb, a quick note here. You really want to walk the guest through the experience. A lot of people don't know that you can actually tag each individual room and affiliate it with a photo. So you kind of want to walk them through, hey, here's the living room, here's the kitchen, here's the bedrooms, etc. And we'll just talk about the photos real quick. So once again, professional photos, you need the lights on. You need to be able to see out the windows, what's going on. It needs to be well staged and well kept. It shouldn't just be poor cell phone quality images. And I know what I'm saying is obvious. I want to show you guys a quick comparison. This is a unit that we took over. It would have been, if I can find it here. So this is a unit that we took over in one of my complexes, and this is no kidding. A professional management company put these pictures on Airbnb and VRBO, and the owners came to me frustrated because they have a really incredible unit. It's updated and it looks fantastic, oceanfront first floor. They said, our management company, terrible communication. We're not getting any bookings or revenue. What do you think's going on? And I just took one look at their listing, and it was the most obvious thing. I just can't believe some of these companies will skip out on the professional photos to save $100 to $200. And so we talked for a bit and they agreed, hey, let's list under your management company. And I just want to show you a before and after. This is the exact same room. We made some minor tweaks to the actual staging area, right? We moved the chair around a little bit and put a little color pop for some plants and things like that. And obviously got a professional photographer in there. And it's really just the difference in these two photos is a slight shift in perspective, and then making sure you've optimized the lighting and captured the room in its best space. So I actually have a couple more of these. I mean, the entire property was photoed this way initially. And so some really fascinating before and afters. I mean, put yourself in the guest perspective. If you're looking online to book a property and you see, this versus this is clearly going to catch your attention more. As I said, it's a really great unit. The second we got it up and running and listed on Airbnb, we had a booking for the next weekend. And this was actually in the off season in Myrtle Beach. So it just goes to show how important really quality updated images are in terms of property management and optimizing things. So as I said, I wanted to really address that stuff. Something else I'd be looking for is you can actually caption each photo right here. So you kind of want to, I'd say as a good rule of thumb, anytime Airbnb or VRBO gives you the opportunity to fill out or caption a certain area, it's in your best interest to do so. We really want to give guests as much information as possible so they really know what to expect when they get to the property. And this is just an example, family room with gel, foam, queen sleeper, sofa, bed. You could say, family room with beautiful ocean views, other kind of keyword buzzwords that are going to capture guest attention. And then, as I said, from there, you're really just walking the guests through the property, making sure all the photos are optimized. A couple different perspectives and angles is good. You don't want to overdo it with photos. See the bathrooms here. Make sure it's staged appropriately like you would for, really almost like listing a house to sell it. You want to make sure it's clean area, nothing in the way that would distract guests from what they're actually looking at. And then we also do, this is, free of charge for our company, but we'll do drone images just so they know what the complex is like. For this unit specifically, one of the really big features, it's really quiet area. There is there's a high rise right there, but it's really removed from the main strip area. So there's not a bunch of high rises nearby. Very easy access for parking and really great central location. So we try to capture that. And then once again, with the pictures, you want to capture the amenities. You want to capture, really quality views that the guest is going to be able to experience. Ideally, you're getting the pictures on a really nice day. And then, just some exterior of the beach and other things nearby. But once again, you don't want to overdo it with too many pictures of like local tourist attractions and things like that. You really just want to capture the essence of the property so the guests know what they're getting themselves into. So I can't emphasize enough, high quality professional photos are super important. Yeah. And then obviously the reviews, you should definitely check out what the reviews look like for your management company. Our price, we're in the middle of December on a weekday, so we're running, discounted pricing, obviously, and our market is pretty slow in December, January timeframe. So you got to drop your prices to be competitive, but that's a whole nother video talking about dynamic pricing. We'll continue on for this though. I know I've been talking for a little bit, try to keep it short and sweet. For the descriptions, you want to just kind of capture the unique selling points of the property. I kind of talked about it already, but essentially the easy access parking, if it's, updated oceanfront condos, if they have really cool amenities like cool water features for kids, or if it's a close central location to certain things, you should be capturing those up front, whether it be paragraph form or bullet form like I have here. There's not necessarily a right or wrong answer. I found that the bullet form is a good way to kind of draw them in. And then they click on the show more, and that's where you can really elaborate on the details of the property and show guests everything that's going on. Make sure they've got all the amenities filled out appropriately. Generally, the more amenities, the better. You don't just want some really basic 10 amenities. I don't know how many off the top of my head, but Airbnb has a huge amount of amenities that you can fill out for every property. And then once again, the reviews, if I'm either interviewing companies or if I'm looking at my current company to see if they're doing well to manage my listing, this is a perfect spot to go in and check out. I would be what I see a lot is you'll see value, location, accuracy, check in are fine, but then you'll see cleanliness and communication are down in the two or threes, and that'll set off a red flag for me. I think Airbnb in particular is a really good way to capture this, just because it breaks down the reviews and you can really see what's going on in your current company and how they're handling guests. This is unfiltered. They can't go in and remove any of these reviews, so you really know what the guest is getting into. And then Airbnb as well, if it gets below a certain threshold, which I think off the top of my head is 4.3, if it gets below 4.3 stars, they actually reserve the right to remove their listing from the platform. And obviously it's listing dependent. It doesn't happen super often, but just put yourself in the guest perspective. If you're comparing two properties and one is at a 4.1 and one is at a 4.8, and you're going to be much more tempted to go with the 4.8, all other things being equal. And so for me, anything below 4.5, I would say can be improved. Anything below a 4 point, just a 4.0 even, I would say is a red flag. If I see anything in the 2 or 3 range, that's a serious problem, and I guarantee they are not getting as many guests as they should. And at that point, it's really a conversation between you and your management company for why that's the case. Maybe your property needs updated, or maybe they're just completely not cleaning things and not communicating appropriately with the guests. So these are just some basics that I would look for. If you couldn't tell, I really emphasize the pictures are huge, and the description of making sure to capture your space in the most appropriate light is the other one. So hopefully this was helpful. This is just part one. I'm going to talk about a few other things for how to compare other companies, but really put yourself in the guest perspective. Understand how these companies are actually marketing your property and if there's a better way to do so. As I said, thanks for listening. I appreciate your time. I'm going to leave the link to my company. If you guys have any questions, you can contact me directly. It's my personal cell on the contact information. Happy to talk through any recommendations or possible adjustments to make to your listings as well. And thanks for your time.